I have had board members of mine that have grown up in Evanston that feel that the YMCA is Evanston. And I don't have that perspective. To me, moving into Evanston, it is, I think, the best representation of what Evanston can do well. Um, and I see it as one of the organizations that can meld Evanston together, serves many different aspects, if not all, touches on lots of lives in various different areas in Evanston, and can do that well. Sometimes make some mistakes, but we always seem to regroup, and we have a mission, and we are a pretty incredible Y in the national Y movement. We are a very unique Y, and we are an urban Y, but yet we have a 400-acre camp, we have a 300-plus children's center, we have 170 residents, and we have 10,000-plus members. There aren't a lot of us nationally that are like that. In fact, I've yet to meet a CEO of another Y that is exactly representation that we are. And I think that's because of where we're at and the needs that we must need in our city, because not all Ys have the opportunity to go out in a community like we do and serve it like we do. I think of 125 years of building, one on another, building blocks. We've made some mistakes. We need to celebrate our successes, recognize our mistakes, and I look at the 125 years as a jumping off point to a new 125 years. And we have some initiatives that we're working on, and that we will be able to do that. We have some collaborations that we would like to establish, and we would like to take where we have been and go to a new era for the YMCA in Evanston. We are in a crisis situation, both in our health and wellness and our economy. And it's a perfect time to look at where we need to go, who we need to collaborate with. We are a YMCA. We are about healthy living, healthy lifestyles, whatever that means for each member that walks through that door. We need to be there for them. We need to collaborate with other institutions within Evanston to help that happen. The economy is not good right now. The board decided last year to make sure that any member that we had did not have to leave our Y because of job loss. And we have done that. We've made a commitment, because if there's ever a time when a family needs a place to go, it is in those kind of circumstances, and we need to be there. So that's what we're looking to the future, is to make a difference in our community with healthy living, and to make a difference and be there as a support system in a bad economy. We will come out of this. We all know we will come out of this economy. And I hope that when we do, the Y can be a stronger place, because we have helped make each member a stronger member to make a stronger community. I refer to the resident program as our guys. I talk about our guys. And the Y is their home. It's not a room, it's their home. And the board made a commitment a few years back to treat the residents as a program, and to look at it as a program. And if it's a program, what are we going to bring? What can we bring and add to their life to make it a better program? And we now have a full-time social worker on staff to work with substance abuse, to work with mental health issues, to work with health issues. She just spent the night at St. Francis Hospital last week with one of our residents. They work at the Y. They work out at the Y. They have memberships at the Y. They have heartbreaking stories, and they have wonderful stories. But they're our guys, and they're a big part of what we do, and I think a very important part. of what we do. Granted, sometimes people are a little scared, but they're our guys. We have been very fortunate to have continued, sustained financial supporters of the Y. Some of them significant supporters over the years. We are right now when I'm talking to you, we're in the middle of our CRT campaign, and I have some numbers of lifetime giving of some people, and it's phenomenal when you add up the lifetime giving. It's a true testament to the Y. The Y is an easy story. There are lots of places to give your money now, and there are lots of places that dearly need your money. The McGaw YMCA is dependable, diverse, distinguishable, deliberate. It is Evanston. The YMCA movement has always been, well, it's mind, body, and spirit is, of course, the triangle. And so at different points of its history, the triangle has been heavier on one side rather than the other. Gym and physical fitness and swimming has always been a part of it, but that has changed with the different kind of focus on physicality that has been a part of our country. And I think we are at a place in the YMCA history that we will finally reach a good balance of mind, body, and spirit with our new Activated America initiative, because it's not about the Jane Fonda exercise program, but it's about what is a healthy lifestyle for you. And that doesn't mean that you're 5'5" and you're 120 pounds of muscle, but that maybe you're a 60-year-old 5'5" and healthy. I think when we talk about values, we get in a little bit of a funky area. The C in the YMCA has never been a capital C in Evanston. That's very different than the national movement, but I think it's very appropriate for Evanston. So values become the focus. And I like to think of it in terms of being good, being a good neighbor, being a good part of the community, being a good friend. What does that mean to you, to me, to anybody walking down the street? You want to be treated in a way that you would treat someone else. You want to be good. And if you follow basic values and you always think about, a friend of mine said that when she was driving, she thinks about the person that just cut her off as, gee, I know that person. That person is a friend in my car. And then you tend to react differently than laying on the horn right away and being not very nice. I think that's an attitude that is a good attitude to take, that every person that walks through that YMCA door should be thought of as someone that I've known for a long time and as a friend. And if I think of that person that way, or if our frontline staff thinks of that person that way, they'll treat them appropriately. It's a constant work in progress. We are constantly working on it with everybody. You are never finished with that aspect of your growing. Never as an adult, never as a child. I believe that you're always learning, and certainly as an institution and an organization, you are always learning how to do that better. And a case in point is what we're working on now with what was the Emerson Street Y, which was a branch Y, which was the Black Y. We are really going to celebrate that YMCA and what it meant to its community and to the Evanston community beyond that this year in 125 year, our year. And I'm very proud of the fact that we are going to address what happened back in the 60s for good and bad purposes, and we are going to hopefully close that book and open a whole another book to some members of our community. But that's about being good neighbors. It's about being good citizens. It's about being a good community. It's about being a good friend. I was fortunate to come into the Y when the programming for children and women was really beginning to expand. So I did not have the experience growing up in Evanston with limited access to the Y. But I do know that it was the only leadership program for women at some point in the 30s and 40s, which says a lot right there. But I came in at a time when there was kind of an open door policy of where we could take programming for women and children in particular. So I feel very, very fortunate that I walked in those doors when I did in its history. We're still lagging behind with the fact that I'm only the 4th woman board chair in 125 years, and it's been a little bit of a time since we had Ingrid Stafford was the last one. I think almost 15 years. But that's okay. We now have a board that is pretty much split, almost half women and half men, which we have really addressed over the last couple of years, looking at our board and trying to make it very diverse in all aspects, reflective of the Evanston community. And I'm talking zip code diversity, ethnic diversity, experience, skill set diversity, female, male, age, you name it, we look at it all. And I'm happy to report that we have a very, very diverse board that is very exciting to be chair of, very stimulating to be chair of, and I feel very fortunate to have 27 incredible board members supporting everything that we do.